Hey, it's me. So I want to tell you a story today about me on a ministry trip in India. It was amazing time. It was a trip of a lifetime. In fact, it's funny because there's two places in the world that I never wanted to go. So if any of my India friends are hearing this, love you, but India wasn't one of them and China wasn't one of them. So I've been to China twice and India once now. So and India is like near and dear to my heart. So let's just tell you that. But here I am. It's maybe 11 o'clock in the morning. We were up late the night before doing ministry. It could have been even earlier. It could have been like 9. I would get up early. I would work on my business. And I also was working in a coaching community. So I would do some work early and then I would head out to the pool. Well, there was like nobody at the pool except for me. So this was amazing. And I'm laying there and picture this. It's like this beautiful pool area. It looks like you should be in Hawaii. These big, huge rocks that were placed there. I was in this lounge chair just sitting by the pool and I was getting sales on Amazon. And I really thought, this is the life that I've worked so hard for. But back up a little bit. What you didn't see behind the scenes is that I was struggling a bit. My business was like just squeaking by. I was making sales, but I wasn't, really overly profitable. So people were seeing all of these trips that I was going on. And, I mean, it wasn't to brag. I mean, this was a ministry trip. I, kind of went by the skin of my teeth. Is that the right phrase? I don't know. Anyway, I just scraped by. And I really didn't have spending money. I just really was putting everything into my business at the time, but I really felt like I was supposed to go. And that trip really changed me. But I was thinking all these years ago when I was locked into um, a manager position, dreaming about going on ministry trips, putting my feet on foreign soil. And here I was. That's where I was on foreign soil, and I was actually making sales. But this is what people don't tell you about entrepreneurship. I love entrepreneurship. It's changed my life, and I'm still building a business today. But I wonder if somewhere along the way, we've started believing that everything we love has to become a business. Maybe. And I think that not everything has to be a business. Maybe you just do something because you love it. Maybe you make the best cookies in town, but then once you put it into a business, it becomes something you just don't like. I loved buying pretty things. And now everything I look at when I go to a store, I'm like, how was this made? Where was this made? What's the price on this? I wonder if I could recreate something like this. So now I'm always thinking in the midst of products instead of just like, hey, this is a pretty thing to buy for my house. And it kind of changes things. You know, as I was in India, the one thing I didn't have because I was an entrepreneur, because I owned my own business, I didn't have security. I wasn't there collecting a paycheck as in my business was running by itself because I also had VAs in place, but I wasn't necessarily getting paid to be there. I was just hoping that I was hoping that my business would continue while I was gone. So sometimes the easier path is actually having a job that you love, collecting a paycheck every 2 weeks, leaving work at the end of the day, enjoying your evening with people you love, and having hobbies that maybe aren't giving you money back, but you enjoy it. And I actually think that's not necessarily a bad life. My sister had said not long ago that she was just not liking her job. And she had a mindset shift because she had an aha moment. So she was like, I just realized that my true boss is actually God. It's not my employer. And so she realized that as she worked unto him, she was happier at work. She wasn't always thinking about the negative. And so, like, for me, I don't know that it's time for me to go back to a W-2 job. I'm open to it. I'm still building my business, but I think that it's not the easy path for sure. And there's times that I think, what did I do this for? And what it was is it was kind of this dream of passive income because you see all over the internet where people are um they're doing this certain thing and it's made them millions of dollars. Well, what you don't see is the endless nights that they stayed up late. And if you listen to their stories, if you listen to anybody's story, you can listen to my story. Um, there's moments where they feel like they've lost everything. There's moments when they had no income. There's moments when they put it all on the line and had a Hail Mary at the end and somehow it all worked out. So, like when you look at these big popular brands and you look at these people that seem like they've arrived, usually they have a story and you're seeing the end result, but you're not seeing the messy middle. You're not seeing where things were hard. You're not seeing where things were challenging. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I went from a six-figure Amazon seller, like just doing great, um, not really paying too close of attention to my bottom line, which this is where I'm starting over in some of that stuff. Like really paying attention to the bottom line, really seeing what the numbers are. How can I really restock? Because is the money there? And so there's just things that I've had to shift. But I went from a six-figure Amazon seller to selling out on Amazon and not restocking. And now I'm shifting to something completely different. But also, as I'm doing that, social media always, they know your number. So I'm seeing all these people offering, if you take my course, then you get this. If you do this, and it's like I have a ton of courses. Like I've invested a lot in myself. I believe in coaching. I believe in finding somebody that's a step ahead of you that you can learn from. So I have all this that I haven't necessarily watched it all. So now I'm like, okay, I have to put blinders on and I have to stay focused. And I'm going back to the content that I have purchased already. And when I find things that like, okay, this is what I already have is missing something, then I can reach out to maybe somebody else that's selling something else that I can go, okay, I can add that to my training that I already have. But, I'm just going to let you know that it's okay to bake something without getting a profit. Cutting flowers without necessarily turning a profit, you don't, not all your hobbies have to. Maybe it's just for enjoyment. Even if it costs you money, maybe it's something you just enjoy. And, give it away. Give it away. Give yourself away. Something that sometimes it's good to sacrifice something for a smile on somebody else's face. But I also want to just tell you that it's okay to be laser focused. If you feel like there's a course that's nudging you, then buy it, go all in. But don't feel like these passive income opportunities or these, um, kind of that there's all these side businesses that people are doing and they're doing well. They still had to make a sacrifice somewhere. And if you're like me as a single person, you kind of have to pay a little closer attention because some of these people have another income that they have as security. And so, maybe you have a W-2 job. Maybe you're thinking, hey, I want to retire in the next 5 years. Okay, so start this side thing that you've always wanted to do. Maybe you just start with you want to pick up the paints again, you start painting again. Maybe you just start with that. Start doing some of these things that you enjoy. And eventually it might lead to an extra income where you think, okay, I can retire and I have this little bit of money, that's coming in and I still enjoy it. And then you get to decide, do you want to scale it Or do you want to just keep it at that? Just a little extra money, something I still enjoy. I don't have to do anything, but I get to. And so I'm just giving you that today. I hope you understand my heart, where I'm coming from. And if you're an entrepreneur and you've been struggling, if you're in your 50s, even in your 60s, and you're like, I see all these people younger than me doing all these things. I should be hopping on I should be hopping on the wagon, the path that they're on. Don't feel like you have to. Do because you want to. Do because God's putting it on your heart. But, also just do it, right? Because if you don't ever step out, you'll never know. And, you can do it safely. You can start with a little and then keep building. Maybe you feel like this cookie business has been on your heart for a long time. Start with one flavor, sell them, put them on Facebook Marketplace, see if anybody's interested. Start little. Don't feel like you have to start big. Don't feel like it has to be this huge astronomical dream. Sometimes one step forward opens up doors that you don't realize that will. So here I am. I'm on YouTube telling you a bit of my story. And I'm saying, you know, I've had to step through doors and sometimes other doors. But things open for me, and then there's some that close, and I'm surprised because I thought they were open doors. And then, somehow they get closed, and it's okay because I know that there's a next chapter coming. I know that there's a new door opening. So thanks for listening today. I'm going to pray us out. So, Lord, I just pray for anyone here listening, wondering what's next in their life, wondering if it's entrepreneurship, if they're feeling frustrated with their job, if they're thinking, I need to retire and I don't know that I have enough. Lord, I just say, let the creativity flow in them. If there's something new for them to pick up, then I just pray that you open that door. Ultimately, Lord, we want to remember that we work for you and that you guide us and you help us along the way. So I just pray, Lord, every door that needs to be open for them would open, every door that needs to close will be closed. And I thank you. I thank you, Lord, for every woman, even man, listening today, that you're not too late to start. And today is your someday. So if there's that thing that you wanted to start it today. Do something today. Do something this week that you've been putting off. Because, we're in the age bracket. Today is our someday. Bless you. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great week. And thanks again for listening.